Well, just wait another second or two. I want to see my clock turn to 4:30 here on in Arizona time. So anybody who's invited and shows up right on time, they used to tell me you're not on time unless you're early. So tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Waiting for that clock to turn over.
Okay.
Sound good?
That's what I was wondering.
Yep. And looks like we're there. Hello out there in Facebook land. I'll do a little housekeeping first. I'm ignoring a warning about certain settings, so if this stream disconnects, that will end this stream. And I will try to reconnect, but you'll have to look on my Facebook page to see if there's another stream that's got started after this one. I want to thank Hans Olsen and Bruce Nelson, my daughter Bethany's boyfriend, for giving me some tips about how to proceed technically on this thing. I tried to implement all of them, couldn't, so there's going to be some technological woo-ha that won't work so well. Sorry about that. I'll also be looking at my music stand a lot. It's down here where you can't see it, but unfortunately that means that, like, if I'm looking down, I'm not being rude. I'm just looking down to make sure I play the right stuff. And I've got these index cards for each tune. I've got a little something to talk about. So it's about 45 minutes. And I bet you're wondering, of course, why I called you together. And it's no secret. This past year's been a rough one. Going back to February of 2020. I mean, we went to a Blake, what's his name? Blake Shelton concert one night. The next night, the world shut down. So we've had a lot of loss, a lot of
There's nothing coming through.
nothing. What do you mean?
I don't see the video. It says there's nothing there.
It's not coming through. You sure? Well, I don't get it.
Maybe it's not set on live.
It's set on live. Oh my goodness. They got 14 people watching. Well, my wife tells me you can't see this. I'm going to proceed as if you are seeing it because I don't know what else to do. And I'm sorry if it's not working. At any rate, if you are watching, it's cocktail time on both sides of the United States. And I hope you grab your favorite beverage, relax, and I hope I can give you a thoughtful and fun time in the next 45 minutes. So I guess one of the things I want to say is I wanted to convene a party. I had this idea for a song that's been percolating for I don't know how long, about a party in my head, where everybody you ever thought about, everybody you ever knew from every part of your life was together. And, well, some of those people are gone, so you can't have them. And then you're all over the darn place. people that I worked with, people that I went to school with, all that. So this is the only way we can get that party, or even a reasonable facsimile of it. So we'll do that. First, I want to read a little something about my parents. My mother and father came over from Italy after the war, after World War II. My mother was they came over separately. My mother was actually a citizen by birth, and so she came to establish residence. She was pregnant with me 13 days on the boat, and I was born in December. I think she came over in September. At any rate, on my 38th birthday, my father told me he came over on the Independence, and that was an American ship. I always thought he came over on an Italian ship. My mom came over on the Vulcano, which is an Italian ship. Anyway, he landed in America on February 16th, 1953. I was born on December 18th, 1952. So I was just a little shy of being 2 months old when I met my father. He said that it was a dark day and the snow was coming down when I met him. Mom's uncle, Francisco, had accompanied her and me to New York to meet Dad's ship. Francisco, as we knew him, did not drive, so he and my mom took a bus to New York with me in tow. And the return trip, with Dad's steamer trunk and whatever belongings he had, must have been a bit hectic. Mom's aunt, Josephina, had cooked them dinner. Mom and her uncle left my dad waiting at the bus stop when they got to town and walked to his house, to my great uncle's house. And then they sent Mom's cousin Chichi to pick up Dad in his car. It was a different world. It's a different world. And it was like, I think it was like traveling on a rocket ship, or maybe a time machine, traveling from that rural Italian town to the big city, to New Jersey. Anyway, let's strap on the rocket. I wish I was a spaceman, the fastest guy alive. I'd ride around the universe in Fireball XL5. Way out in space together, conquerors of the stars. My heart would be a fireball, a fireball. Every time I gaze into your starry eyes, da 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 da. Take a path to Jupiter, and maybe very soon we cruise along the Milky Way and land upon the moon. Through a wonderland of stardust, we'll zoom our way to Mars. My heart would be a fireball, a fireball. Every time I'd gaze into your starry eyes. Do 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 do. And so I was having a little fun with that. That was the closing theme to Fireball XL5. My wife keeps telling me there's nothing on video, so I don't know what's going on. This recording will sooner or later be up on video. If you're seeing it, let her know. Text her, message her. She is one of the Facebook people on this thing. And if you're not seeing it, I guess you won't text her. Anyway, she keeps telling me that, so everything is kind of wacky. I'm going to have to call this off because it's just not working, according to Paula. If you're seeing it, let her know.
he could see you and hear you just fine. I couldn't hear him or see him on mine at all. So, okay, so where are you at? Are you on Facebook?
How else could she see it?
If look on the live chat, everybody could see you just fine. But
Okay,
it's
I
nice,
can't
the video not working. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna have him start it over.
Oh, sugar.
Then. Okay. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kat, for letting us know that we are indeed live. I am so sorry, and I'm glad I kept my expletive to sugar. That's all I can say. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about why I chose that song before. We were having fun one day, and that was the closing theme to Fireball XL5. This was a show that was on Saturday mornings, way back. It was Super Marionation, so it was really kind of cool. It took you out into space and all this stuff. And I remember that the weekend that President Kennedy was shot, they preempted everything, including Fireball XL5. So I know that this show was something I was watching when I was in 6th grade, and it inspired imagination. And later in 6th grade, there was something else that inspired a great imagination, and that was the Beatles. They came along. And so I've got a Beatles song I want to try out. It's more reflective, and it's appropriate to this day. It's credited to Lennon and McCartney, but I think John was the main writer. There are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some are gone and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I think of love is something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them, but in my life I love you more. In my life I love you more. I'm still nervous from that whole bit with Paula telling me the thing wasn't running. I'm sorry about that. It's kind of shaking up my performance. I was so confident coming in today. Now I said, I'm going to knock him dead. Yeah, well, knock me dead instead. Okay, so this next tune is an original. I wrote this next song in about 1976, and I had Elvis Presley in mind. See if you can spot it, so to speak. Put your fingers to the window, see your fingerprints appear. Soon they're gone without a trace, and you'll see it all so clear. Come down off the mountain where it's always so cold. Let your body start moving down Rock and Roll Road. If that don't move you, I'll tell you what. Oh, let me move you, baby, let me move you. Oh, let me move you, baby, let me move you. In the morning there's a warning sounded out by mongrel dogs. In the evening there's a grieving for the dead man in the bogs. Come down off the mountain where it's always so cold. Let your body start moving down rock and roll road. If that don't move you, I'll tell you what. Oh, let me move you, baby, let me move you. Oh, let me move you, baby, let me move you. Well, there's people been wondering just what rock and roll is worth. Those people gotta wonder, might as well crucify the earth. Well, I bet there's lots of villains making money kind of sly. Turn up this real fine music even makes me wanna cry. Don't let that blind you to what beauty there is, 'cause ugliness is all around, but it's not all there is. If that don't move you, then I tell you what. Oh, let me move you, baby, let me move you. Oh, let me move you, baby, let me move you. Ooh. So, this next tune is an old tune by Johnny Cash. I made it a little more up-tempo. Now, Johnny Cash, you gotta know one thing, was always 3 chords and the absolute truth, even when he made it up. Well, reading and writing and arithmetic never did sink in with me. It ain't because I'm square or thick, 'cause I learned my ABCs when I graduated from the grammar school and I moved 1 grade above. I began to be a schnook at books, but I made straight A's in love. The preacher would say, boy, learn your algebra, but I'd bring home C's and D's. I could have made the grade when there's a swinging maid on the left, on the right, in the back, in the front of me. Well, my grades are low upon my card or no, but they ought to give me 1 above. If they passed out marks for learning in the dark, I'd have straight A's in love. In my senior year with graduation year, I did my homework every night. When my mama said it's time to go to bed, well, I turned out all the lights. My sweetie pie was waiting right outside. She was cooing like a dove. I did my best to feel semester test, but I made straight A's in love. Well, teacher would say, well, learn your algebra, but I'd bring home C's and D's. I couldn't make the grade when there's a swinging maid on the left, on the right, in the back, in front of me. Well, my grades are low upon my card or no, but they ought to give me 1 above. If they passed out marks for learning in the dark, I'd have straight A's in love. I'd have straight A's in love. I'd have straight A's in love. Thank you. So these next 2 tunes, which just fell apart on me, thank goodness for glue and whatever, were written at a pretty dark time, back at about 2000, 2001, 2002, right in there. The first one's called House Full of Nothing, and the second one is Late Bloomer. You know, went through the changes, bad things happened, and ultimately new growth emerged. So you just have to take the good with the bad, I guess. House Full of Nothing. I've got a house full of nothing and a heart full of pain. I should have seen it all coming, oh, but I missed that train. When you build a house, it's the happiest day. Then comes a new wind and it's all blown away. Oh God, give me strength to face the next day. for the rooms are all empty and love's faded away. I've got a house full of nothing and a heart full of pain. I should have seen it all coming. Oh, but I missed that train. I thought our love was so strong, it would always be there. Love had furnished that house, but it was built on thin air. Oh God, give me strength to fight this despair. For if pain were a banquet, I've had my fair share. A house full of nothing and a heart full of pain. I should have seen it all coming. Oh, but I missed that train. I sure don't know where we went all wrong, but once we stopped talking, we didn't last long. Oh God, tell me why I'm singing this song and walking these halls where I just don't belong. I've got a house full of nothing and a heart full of pain. I should have seen it all coming. Oh, but I missed that train. When you build a house, it's the happiest day. There comes an ill wind and it's all blown away. Oh God, give me strength to face the next day. For the rooms are all empty and love's faded away. Love's faded away. Late bloomer. The gray-haired old man watches all the young women walk by. Still the fire's still burning and the girls still get me so high, high, high. Oh, oh. I was focused on finance, so I missed out on romance. Now just one loving glance makes things right. Oh, late bloomer, finally made sense of my life. Late bloomer, finally made sense of my life. A middle-aged mom left with 2 kids and big bills to pay. Quit a dead-end job where she's barely making her pay. Hey, hey, oh, oh. When she paid her desk without a fight, paid down the run. I'm gonna do a retake here. She paid her debts with her writing. When she finally stopped fighting the dreams that grew bigger each day. Oh, oh, late bloomer, found she had something to say. Late bloomer, found she had something to say. Now for Phoenix. Look at Luis Gonzalez hitting 57 out of the park. And all the years before that, he never came close to that mark. Oh, oh. And in the 9th of Game 7, he took his team up to heaven, showed the Yankees he's getting things done. Whoa, late bloomer, driving in the game-winning run. Late bloomer, driving in the game-winning run. Late bloomer, just like the prodigal son. So yeah, the depths and rebirth, huh? Now, I know that I'm hearing it on delay in the other room, Paula's playing. Okay. So, I guess why I like music and singing is because it can transport me to another place, an ecstatic place. Like Bob Dylan sings in Mr. Tambourine Man, let me forget about today until tomorrow. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to do that too. This tune, Boom Shalala, which I wrote in the mid-'80s, is my effort to do that. I hope it does it for you. We'll do a retake. Bodies frozen like statues in a hall. Shadows creep across our faces. In the Dylan school, as the acolytes fall, we raise our hands and take their places. Uh-oh, a voice wailing in the wind. Uh-oh, the guitar jangles. Uh-oh, the moon rises with the breeze. Boom, sha-la-la-la-la, whoa, 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 whoa. Boom, sha-la-la-la-la, whoa, whoa, whoa. Take me with you as we graduate and fade, dancing through the monster's fingers. His oily greed is like a stone on his back. Although he's sinking, let's not linger. Uh-oh, a voice wailing in the wind. Uh-oh, the guitar jangles. Uh-oh, the moon rises with the breeze. Boom, sha-la-la-la-la, whoa, whoa, whoa. Boom, sha-la-la-la-la, whoa, whoa, whoa. Man can't fool with no golden rule. In a crowd that don't play fair, you told me. It's been 100 years, give or take a few. But now your memory's back enfold me. Well, it's my birthday here inside the hallowed walls. Bang my head with your persuasion. Shake me down from the shelf that never falls. Make my living an occasion. Make my living an occasion. Oh, the voice wailing in the wind. Oh, the guitar jangles. Oh, the moon rises with the breeze. Boom, sha-la-la-la-la, whoa, whoa, whoa. Boom, sha-la-la-la-la, whoa, whoa, whoa. Boom, sha-la-la-la-la, whoa, 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 whoa. Little rough patch there. Navigating. This next tune is called Nobody's Pain. And it's about the lack of communication, whether it's between two people or between a person and their inner self. And this one dates back to the late 1970s. Not exactly sure, 76, 77, somewhere in there. Quiet anticipation in a room where the clock doesn't even tick. The mirror shows her image as she does her latest trick. She braids her hair and then unbraids it. She paints her nails and then unpaints them. She's acting so suspicious, but she'll never cry, 'cause it's nobody's pain she feels. nobody's pain she feels. Careful calculation is his faith, where the martial hordes pass by. He lights a candle to their ghosts on their way to die. He snuffs the candle and then relights it. He prays to God and then he fights it. He's acting so judicious, but he'll never cry, 'cause it's nobody's pain he feels. Nobody's pain he feels. And it's nobody's pain, like a blanket over heaven, blotting out the stars at night. Nobody's pain, fingers like a fog bank, obscuring all in sight. And it's nobody's pain, nobody's pain. Awkward situation as they meet, where the words won't even come. The mirror shows their image. They both seem deaf and dumb. They try to talk, they cannot talk. They try to talk, they cannot talk. They're acting so ridiculous, but they'll never cry, 'cause it's nobody's pain they feel. Nobody's pain they feel. Nobody's pain. Oh, nobody's pain. Called an audible. Okay. Getting close to the end. So I think a lot of people first heard Hallelujah in Shrek. The version was by John Cale. I first heard it in a version by Jeff Buckley. And he told me that when Leonard Cohen wrote this song, he had something like 90 verses. I've chosen 5 for today. Rest in peace, Leonard Cohen and Jeff Buckley. I heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? And it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. And she tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, baby, I've been here before. I've seen these walls and I've walked this floor. You know, I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch, and love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Remember when you let me know what's really going on below? Well, now you never show that to me, do you? And remember when I moved in you and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, I did my best. It wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth. I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. This one takes a little explaining, this next one. This is called You Don't Know Why I Am, and it's the oldest original song I'm doing today. It's from about 1974. So there was a time from the day after Martin Luther King was assassinated in 1968 until sometime in 1973, I used to go to a coffee house called Mama's Illusion. It was run by teenagers, for teenagers mostly. There were adult chaperones. I think by the time I was done going there, I probably was of age too. Anyway, I met a girl there who was a dedicated atheist, and she seemed to have evangelical fervor when she told Christians that all they wanted was death insurance, that they wanted something that promised them that death was not the end. Again, I was struck by her fervor, which I saw as just as religious as the other guys. I think we all look crazy to one another when we have a final answer. I think life is all a question and constant unfolding. At least it's what I think. And so when you hear this, I'm not calling out anybody. Maybe I'm calling out myself, most of all. When I say I don't believe in your religion, an affliction that's destroying all that's sane. Don't you know that we're just walking contradictions? I'm dying, and you don't know why I am. You sit there with all your answers and assurance. No occurrence can make you scream in pain. Yet you weakly clutch your demoniacal insurance. I'm crying, still you don't know why I am. You've got all your answers in your little black books, but when the pilgrims come with their questions, you just give them all dirty looks. You never change, yet you swear you have the answers. I won't cut you with the talons of reliance or compliance that's restoring a lion's mane. But don't you know, only humans know defiance. I'm dying, and you don't know why I am. I'm living, I'm living, and you don't know why I am. This is a weird song, I think, to have today in the middle of August. It's called Bold Winter Night. I've put together 3 bands in my life. One was a 10-piece band, horn choir, baby, that I did for a one-night gig at the coffee house, Mama's Illusion, I talked about. I did a similar thing for my senior recital in college. And at the one of the Illusion, I think police may have been called out for that one. Then I formed one with one of my brothers in arts, Key Rash, in 1985. His guitar work made this song, it's an original of mine, but it made this song extra special. We lost Key in 2020. This is for you, brother. The crisp sound in silent snow is just the ghost of what's behind. Let the cold clean away the dirt, the awful load of time. Jump into the sky now that you're free, and remember that later the cold will bite on this bold winter night. On this night of dreams and nightmares, on this night of troubled peace, the cold pounds like a hammer, and the wind steals like a thief. And it makes me feel so good to feel so bad on this bold winter night. The train leaves before the dawn on a track into the light. It's a cold room for a warm heart where we had that final fight. The stars are points of fire, stranded like refugees, and sooner or later the cold will bite on this bold winter night. I'm going to pretend that you're applauding. You got tears in your eyes and all kinds of stuff. But at the same time, it's time to get a little up-tempo. So, this is the first tune I ever learned to play. I played it at Mama's Illusion. Everybody's building big ships and boats. Some are building monuments and others are jotting down notes. Everybody's in despair, every girl and boy. When Quinn the Eskimo gets you, everybody's gonna jump for joy. Come all without, come all within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come all without, oh, come all within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Well, I kinda do this like, call an audible. I like to do just like the rest. I like my sugar sweet. Killing kings and making hate, you know it ain't my cup of meat. Everybody's out there feeding them pigeons out on a limb. When Quinn the Eskimo gets you, all them pigeons gonna run to him. Come all without, come all within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come all without, come all within. You'll not see nothing like a mighty Quinn. Well, cows moo and a cat's meow, I can't recite them all. Tell me where it hurts you, honey, I'll tell you who to call. Nobody can get no sleep, you know there's someone on everybody's toes. When Quinn the Eskimo gets you, everybody's gonna want a dose. Come all without, come all within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Ah, come all without, come all within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Do, 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 do. And we come, all good things must come to an end. That's the way the world goes round, right? So, Friday we lost a singer called Nancy Griffith. She's a Texas singer-songwriter whom I interviewed at least once. She had just turned 68. She was one of those songwriters like John Prine, who have a following, but not much mainstream exposure. She did a duet with Prine on one of his songs on her album once. So it seemed like I'd nod to both her and to John Prine here by doing a John Prine song. We lost John to COVID late last year. Last year. It wasn't late. He was one of the early ones. He told me about this next song that a woman in San Francisco made a request for, the one about the happy enchilada. Now, he said, lady, I never wrote a song about a happy enchilada. She said, sure you did. You know, it's the happy enchilada and you think you're going to drown. He says, lady, it's half an inch of water and you think you're going to drown. It's a song called That's the Way the World Goes Round. I know a guy that's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kinda confused, got muscles in his head, ain't never been used, thinks he owns half of this town. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose, beats me up with a rubber hose, then he takes me out to dinner, buys me new clothes. That's the way that the world goes round. Well, that's the way that the world goes round. Up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. And that's the way that the world goes round. I was sitting in the bathtub, counting my toes, when the radiator broke, the water all froze. I got stuck in the ice without my clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak. When the sun came through the window, the ice all broke. I stood up and laughed, thought it was a joke. And that's the way that the world goes round. Oh, that's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a happy enchilada and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. Oh, that's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. And that's the way that the world goes round. Thanks, everybody. Everybody watched and had patience through the craziness at the beginning. I so appreciate all of you. Thanks for coming to the party in my head. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.